But Angel, I thought you had only 2 t-shirts. What is this? Oh, it's just my new merch. Don't even worry about it. Okay, I'm selling cheap t-shirts with some dumbass quote on them. I got a lame-ass book coming out. I must be a real YouTuber by now. I know it. Alright, so I told you that my art book is coming out on Kickstarter next month, October 1st. But you know I had to take advantage of that moment and also sell you a bunch of other shit that you don't need. And I was thinking, okay, what can I sell these motherfuckers? And my first thought was, maybe a dildo so you can go fuck yourself. But then I realized, why not put my art on some merch and sell that instead? And since some bootleg companies are already selling my art on t-shirts illegally, I thought I would just do some professional overthinker t-shirts. They describe me very well. I also decided I can do enamel pins and keychains out of the characters that are in my book, but then I remembered I don't know how the fuck to do that. So I started watching YouTube videos on how people make their enamel pins, and it will be some old lady like, and then you do this, and then you do that. And I was like, that's interesting. So today I'm gonna be the old lady for you, and I'm gonna show you the process of how I created this little shit. And if that's not really that interesting, at least I would have promoted my art book. So here I am watching fucking grandmas on YouTube, lost as fuck, and nobody even wants to tell you where you're supposed to get the pins from. Like, I know a guy who knows a guy who hooked me up. Like, bro, I'm not trying to buy some cocaine, buddy. I'm just trying to make some pins here. So I decided to start from the same place that all my great ideas come from, aka stealing from Instagram. And the only person that I knew who had done enamel pins was this amazing artist, Lana J Art, and shout out to her for being amazingly nice and actually replying to me. Cause me being the piece of shit that I am, I just DM people like, hey, can you tell me how to do this? If you only knew how many artists have blocked me on Instagram. So she was nice enough to send me some of her pin designs, because I didn't even know you were supposed to do that. Like, I just thought you give your artwork to somebody and they magically turn it into a pin. Who knew you actually had to design? And by the way, I love the fact that people think that I can actually draw. Like, I can just copy references. When it comes to doing actual art, nuh-uh. So I'm looking at this beautiful flower and I'm thinking, how can I turn my portraits of 11-year-olds into this fucking style? Like, there's not even any shading. So I started looking through my characters and I realized, bro, the only reason people like my art is because of my cheap tricks and glowing colors. Like, what am I gonna do now? Thank God I still got a nice ass. And I stopped at these 3 artworks because of their clear shapes. But I'm so out of options that this one on the right is not even in the book. It's from a challenge before that. I'm really desperate, people. Now, normally I use my iPad only for clean lines. And if you've seen me use it for something else on an Instagram story, I did that only because it gets more views. So I'm looking at the flower and I'm like, okay, it has these very thick and bold lines. I can do that. And normally I use this brush under calligraphy called the shell brush. But for the enamel pin, we're going to be using the script brush because I definitely know what I'm doing. So I lower the opacity of the sketch and I just start tracing all of the edges and turning it into a line art. And this is the final result that I end up with, and you might think that it looks good, but if we hide the layer underneath, it just looks like I did it in my lunch break in kindergarten. So now I go to Photoshop and it's time for the weird coloring. First thing I notice is that the flower has these dark yellow lines. I think I can do that. And I actually was watching somebody on YouTube talk about pins, and they said that you can use only Pantone colors. First of all, I don't know who the fuck Pantone is, but your colors fucking suck, buddy. You gotta get some new ones. Like, there's only this limited amount of colors. It feels like I'm in preschool and they just gave me 5 color pencils. Like, that's all you need. I'm a fucking adult. I want all the colors. So I start out with a masking layer beneath the lines, and then I create a separate layer mask for every different color. Then you color pick the original, you go to color libraries, and you hope your guy Pantone got you covered. And then you end up with a color that has nothing to do with the original. Fuck you, Pantone, and all your goofy colors. Then I randomly just click through all the colors in the face, and I just hope I end up with something that remotely looks like what I have in the original. Then you repeat the same process for every single color, while in the meantime you curse that bitch ass motherfucker Pantone. And then this is the final result. And then at this point you question, who the fuck is even gonna buy this ugly shit? I saw in a video that you're supposed to write like a little legend on exactly which colors you're using. So not only are you using Panthen's colors, but now you gotta write his name. This fucking guy, bro. So now I have the first design ready and I'm like, okay, but where the fuck do you get the pins from? Because all the people on YouTube were like, I know a guy who knows a guy, but bro, fuck out of here with that Godfather shit. So I messaged Lana J again and she tells me that she gets them from this website, Alibaba.com. I'm like, what? Isn't that where they buy illegal guns from or something? So I go to Alibaba.com and I type in Enamel Pins. Now if you don't know, everything that you buy on the internet and pretty much everything in your house was made in China. And the real price of it is probably 20 cents. So now I'm watching YouTube videos to see which one of these thousands of motherfuckers to choose from, and every artist is hiding their supplier. Like what? I'm gonna steal your fucking supplier? Only if they're hot. But I'm like, it's cool. They just don't know how fucking intrusive I am. So I copy paste this message and I send it to every goddamn supplier I can find. And at first I'll write some shit like, hello, my name is Angel Ganef and I'm a digital painter. I have over 500,000 followers on Instagram. Cause I'm thinking you gotta let them motherfuckers know that you're famous. And I didn't get any replies. So I'm like, great, now I'll have to play fucking humble. And I think I messaged so many manufacturers that the website started tracking me or something, because people started messaging me. Good day, I'm Sharon. We are manufacturer of gifts. We can do pin, coin, badge, keychain, cup. And the person that I ended up working with was this girl called Hera He. Let me not make fun of Asian names because I don't want to get canceled. But honestly, I'm so happy with that supplier, man. I still don't understand why people hide their suppliers. You know you're not selling weed, right? So I humbled myself, I wrote a proper text, and I sent in the image that I created, plus one of Lana J's pins as an example. I'm sorry, I'm a hack. And she replied, thank you for the inquiry, item, size, color, logo, hard, and ammo. And that's actually one of the things that I saw on YouTube is I guess you can order either a soft pin or a hard pin. But honestly, why would you not want it to be hard? And then she said, unit price 64 cents per piece. And I'm gonna be selling it for $10 each. Welcome to the art industry. And then she said, if you need glitter, unit price at additional 4 cents. And I was like, ugh, 4 cents? That's kind of expensive. But since you know I care so much about my fans, I was like, I guess I'm gonna sacrifice 4 cents. And then she sent me this file for confirmation and I was like, great, it still looks awful. So all that actually happened at the beginning of the year. And I'm just sitting there like, oh man, I'm ready. I'm gonna make so much money. And then on March 6th, she writes, because of new virus in China, most factories didn't open. And I was like, bitch, I don't care if the fucking world falls off. I spent 4 cents on this shit. I wish I actually said that. And then finally on May 20th, she writes me, okay dear, I'll send it to you tomorrow. And I just get hyped. I'm like, bro, let's go. My expectations are just high as fuck. And she sends me this picture. And I'm like, bro, I'm never gonna sell these. But then she sent me a video and it turns out that it was just a bad picture. So I was like, yes, I'm gonna make a return on my investment of 4 cents. So then I made 2 more designs. I sent it to her and I was like, bro, you know what? I'm gonna go all out on this and I'm gonna order fucking back cards. 8 more cents. And I gotta tell you, I'm really proud of my back card designs because my graphic design skills are worse than my English skills. I'm so bad at fonts and logos that the first design that I did, I sent it to my best friend and he was like, what the fuck is this? Is this fucking Arial? I was like, well, yeah. I mean, what else is there? So naturally, I just found other people's back cards and I started stealing from them. So after my wildly original designs, I started gaining confidence. I was like, bro, I'm really good at this. So I decided I'm gonna do some keychains as well, and I found this girl, Joanna Su. Now the great thing about keychains is that you don't have to design them, you just have to outline your work. And by the way, Chinese manufacturers are all nice and polite and they call you dear and all that shit, but they're always trying to get away with some shit. Like I had to send them this image to explain what I sent and then what they send me for a final. Like, why does yours look like I'm seeing it through my Nokia? And then a couple of months later, she sends me this video and I'm like, God damn, bitch, I'm gonna make so much money. And here they are, 3 different types of enamel pins, 3 different type of keychains. Look at that fucking glitter. Definitely worth the 4 cents. I also made 4 different type of prints and 4 different type of stickers, and those are actually really easy to make. You just find a local company that does printing and you're like, what's up? You trying to get my 4 cents right now? And I get so many questions of people being like, how can I make my own prints? But honestly, this shit is so simple, man. Like, I think artists expect that you're somehow supposed to know this. Now you just need to do some research and have 4 cents. And I've also seen some artists print this shit at home with their home printers and fuck up all the colors. What's wrong with you, bitch? This should be like a UFC video. Don't do this at home. So anyway, this is it for this video. Hope you like my merch. It's gonna be out with my book Droid Angel on Kickstarter October 1st. Hope you check it out. I'm recording this fucking video 5 days after I released the initial video, and we've been researching it, and it turns out fucking Kickstarter doesn't even work in Eastern Europe. So there's not gonna be any Kickstarter. We're still not sure what the fuck we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be released. We're still not even sure what the fuck we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be using our website to release the book ourselves. But fucking Kickstarter, I'm gonna let you know next week. And until then,
it is what it is.
Fuck my shit up, Quay.